stop doing cardio to burn belly fat. It is the single least efficient way to change your body composition. If you are waking up at 5 a.m. to run on a treadmill, starving yourself until lunch, and still looking down at that stubborn ring of visceral fat that refuses to budge, you are fighting a war you cannot win. You aren't fighting calories, you are fighting your own biology. Here is the visceral reality. While you are awake, your body is in storage mode. It is protecting you. But the moment you drift into deep wave sleep, a metabolic switch is supposed to flip. Your body is designed to become a furnace, stripping energy specifically from your midsection to repair your brain and organs. But for 90% of you watching this, that switch is broken. You wake up groggy, puffy, and heavier than you were the night before. You feel that low-level inflammation, like a dull heat in your joints, and the anxiety of knowing that despite your salads and your suffering, your metabolism has ground to a halt. It's not because you lack discipline. It's because your internal operating system is stuck in a cortisol loop. It literally manufactures belly fat while you are unconscious. In the next 20 minutes, we are going to fix this. I'm not going to tell you to sleep more. I'm going to show you how to engineer the 90 minutes before you sleep to trigger a massive release of growth hormone, the most potent fat-burning chemical in the human body. We are going to look at the Nighttime Lipolytic Window. I will show you exactly how to pry this window open so that you aren't just sleeping, you are actively shedding the most dangerous fat on your body without moving a single muscle. Put down the running shoes. It's time to hack your sleep. Let's be brutally honest about the advice you have been given for the last 20 years. You go to your doctor, you point to your stomach, and they give you the standard prescription. Eat less, move more. They hand you a pamphlet on calorie counting and send you on your way. This is not just lazy medicine. It is physiological malpractice. The calories in, calories out model treats the human body like a simple bank account. The theory is if you deposit 2,000 calories and spend 2,500, you will lose weight. Mathematically, that is true. Biologically, it is a disaster. Here is what actually happens when you rely on calorie restriction to fix a metabolic issue. When you aggressively cut calories, your body does not view this as a diet. It views it as a famine. It triggers an ancient survival mechanism called adaptive thermogenesis. Your human OS detects a shortage of energy, so it panics. It slashes your thyroid function, drops your body temperature, and downregulates your resting metabolic rate. You might lose 5 pounds in the first week, mostly water and muscle tissue, but by week 3, your body has adjusted. It is now holding on to every single gram of fat because it thinks you are dying. You are eating less, but you are burning less. You are suffering, but you are stagnant. And here is the worst part. Specifically for those of you trying to lose belly fat, you cannot outrun a hormonal blockage. The enemy is not laziness. The enemy is insulin toxicity. Visceral fat, that hard, protruding belly fat, is not just stored energy. It is an active organ. It is hormonally alive. It constantly releases inflammatory cytokines into your bloodstream. But more importantly, it is guarded by insulin. Think of insulin as a storage hormone. Its job is to take energy from your blood and shove it into your cells. When insulin is high, it physically locks the door to your fat cells. It inhibits the enzyme hormone-sensitive lipase, or HSL. HSL is the key that unlocks fat stores so they can be burned for fuel. If insulin is elevated, which it is for most of you because of chronic snacking and high-carbohydrate dinners, HSL is turned off. You could run a marathon, but if your insulin is high, you will burn sugar, you will burn muscle, but you will not burn body fat. You are biochemically incapable of it. So, when you follow the eat less, move more advice, you are stressing a body that is already hormonally broken. You run on the treadmill, spiking your cortisol. You starve yourself, spiking your stress hormones. This high-stress cocktail tells your body to store more visceral fat around the organs to protect them. It's a vicious cycle. You work harder, your body fights back harder. It's not your fault that the weight won't move. You have been using a manual for a machine that doesn't exist. You have been trying to solve a chemistry problem with a calculator. We need to stop treating your body like a bank account and start treating it like a chemistry lab. We need to manipulate the hormones, not the calories. And the most powerful time to manipulate those hormones isn't during your workout. It's in the first 4 hours of sleep. But to access that fat-burning window, we have to bypass a specific traffic cop that is currently directing all your food into your belly. Most people trigger this traffic cop to block fat burning every single night without realizing it. We're going to fire him in the next chapter. Before we open up the hood and look at the engine, I need to know where your current operating system is glitching. Comment below. Do you wake up feeling lighter and leaner? Or do you wake up feeling puffy and bloated? And be honest, do you find yourself needing a snack right before bed just to fall asleep? Pause the video, scroll down, and type lighter or bloated. I want to see the data on this, because that single symptom tells me exactly which hormones are misfiring. Before we open up the hood, let's look at the mechanism. To understand why you aren't burning fat while you sleep, we have to look at the intersection of two powerful systems, the pancreas and the pituitary gland. Imagine your bloodstream is a busy intersection. Standing in the middle of that intersection is a traffic cop. This traffic cop has one job: to decide where energy goes. This traffic cop is insulin. When you eat, especially carbohydrates or protein, insulin blows his whistle. He stops all traffic leaving the parking lots, which are your fat cells, and directs all new traffic into the parking lots. As long as the insulin traffic cop is on duty, the gates to your fat cells are locked. They are in entry-only mode. You cannot withdraw energy. You can only deposit it. Now, here is the critical part that most people miss. There's a second traffic cop waiting to take the shift. This is human growth hormone, or HGH. Growth hormone is the anti-aging, fat-shredding, muscle-building commander of the human OS. When HGH is on duty, he flips the gates. He commands the fat cells to open up and release triglycerides to be burned for fuel. He is the reason children grow while they sleep, and he is the reason you should be losing weight while you sleep. But here's the catch. These two traffic cops hate each other. They cannot be in the intersection at the same time. They are biological antagonists. If insulin is even slightly elevated, if that traffic cop is still lingering in the intersection because you had a healthy fruit smoothie or a bowl of oatmeal 2 hours before bed, growth hormone cannot come to work. The pituitary gland gets the signal. Energy is high, insulin is present, and it cancels the night shift. Instead of a massive pulse of fat-burning growth hormone, you get a trickle, or nothing. This brings us to the nighttime lipolytic window. Normally, about 60 to 90 minutes after you fall asleep, you enter slow-wave sleep. This is when your brain cleans itself. But it is also when your pituitary gland is supposed to squirt out a massive dose of HGH. This pulse accounts for nearly 75% of your total daily growth hormone production. 75%. If you have insulin in your blood at this moment, you miss the window. You miss the single biggest metabolic opportunity of your entire 24-hour cycle. You are literally sleeping through the fat loss signal. The trick to melting belly fat isn't a pill, and it's not doing crunches in bed. The trick is clearance. We have to clear the intersection. We need to ensure that insulin has completely clocked out and left the building before your head hits the pillow. We need to create a hormonal vacuum that sucks a massive release of growth hormone out of your pituitary gland the moment you close your eyes. But achieving this clearance is harder than just not eating. There's a specific trigger, a biological loophole that we can exploit to force insulin down and drive growth hormone up. It involves a specific nutrient timing protocol and a drink you've probably been told is bad for you. Let's dive into the deep dive. Before we map out the specific protocol, I need to ask you something. If you are finding value in this deep dive, if you are tired of generic drink water advice and want actual engineering manuals for your body, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Next week, we are releasing the Morning Cortisol Flush, a perfect companion guide to this nighttime routine, and I don't want you to miss the notification. Now, let's look at the machinery. To hack the Nighttime Lipolytic Window, we need to manipulate 3 specific biological pathways. We aren't just eating earlier, we are engineering a biochemical state called metabolic switching. This is the process where your body transitions from running on glucose, sugar from your last meal, to running on ketones, energy derived from your own body fat. Most people never flip this switch. They stay in a glucose-fed state 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Their fat-burning engine is rusted shut. Here are the 3 pathways we must activate to grease that engine. Pathway 1. The Glucagon-Insulin Seesaw. We already met insulin, the traffic cop that blocks fat burning. But every villain has a hero. In your body, that hero is glucagon. Glucagon is a hormone produced by the pancreas, just like insulin, but they function on a strict seesaw. When insulin goes up, glucagon must go down. They cannot coexist at high levels. Glucagon is the unlocking hormone. Its primary job is to find stored energy and release it. When glucagon is high, it travels to the liver and to your adipose tissue, your belly fat, and signals the release of fatty acids. It literally tells your fat cells, open the vaults. The problem with the modern diet is that we never allow the seesaw to tilt. By snacking at 8 p.m. or having that healthy bowl of fruit after dinner, you keep insulin elevated for 3 to 4 hours. This keeps glucagon pinned to the floor. To melt belly fat while you sleep, we need the insulin floor. We need your insulin levels to drop to their baseline minimum before the first cycle of deep sleep occurs, usually 60 minutes after falling asleep. If we can crash insulin early in the evening, glucagon spikes during the night. You effectively turn your sleep into an 8-hour low-intensity fat-burning workout. Pathway 2. The AMPK activation. This is the most advanced concept, but stick with me because it changes everything. AMPK, adenosine monophosphate activated protein kinase, is your body's fuel gauge. It is an enzyme found inside every cell. It constantly monitors your energy status. When your cells are full of energy because you just ate, AMPK is turned off. Your body says, "We are full. Build new tissue. Store fat." When your cells sense a drop in energy, AMPK is turned on. It screams, "Low battery. Burn everything for fuel." When AMPK is activated, it triggers mitochondrial biogenesis. It literally creates new power plants in your cells to burn fat more efficiently. We want AMPK screaming low battery the moment your head hits the pillow. If you go to bed full, even if it's healthy food, your cellular fuel gauge reads 100%. AMPK stays off. Your mitochondria idle. But if we can trick the body into an energy deficit right before sleep, AMPK switches on and upregulates fat oxidation pathways to keep your vital organs running. It pulls that energy directly from visceral fat. Pathway 3. The somatopause reversal. Somatopause is the medical term for the gradual decline of growth hormone as we age. By age 40, you're producing a fraction of the HGH you did at age 20. This is why it gets harder to lose weight as you get older. However, studies show that this decline isn't just about age, it's about glycemic control. High blood sugar blunts the pituitary gland's ability to release HGH. It's a protective mechanism. HGH increases blood sugar slightly to fuel the brain during sleep. If your blood sugar is already high from a late meal, your brain says, "Whoa, we don't need any more sugar," and it cancels the HGH release to prevent hyperglycemia. By eating late, you're inducing an artificial somatopause. You're chemically aging yourself every night. To reverse this, we need to create a glycemic valley, a safe, controlled drop in blood glucose leading up to bedtime. When the brain detects this valley, it feels safe to release the flood of growth hormone. So, the objective is clear. Tilt the seesaw, insulin down, glucagon up. Trigger the fuel gauge, activate AMPK. Create the valley, clear glucose to allow HGH release. How do we do all three simultaneously without waking up starving at 2 a.m.? We use a specific protocol I call the 4-hour fast start, and it involves a specific liquid intervention that stabilizes hunger while keeping insulin at 0. Let's turn this science into a schedule. We have identified the enemy, insulin. We have identified the goal, the nighttime lipolytic window. Now, we are going to install the protocol. I call this the 4-hour metabolic descent. Most people crash into sleep. They watch TV, eat a snack, brush their teeth, and pass out. That is a crash landing. We want a controlled descent. We want to glide your body into a state of deep ketosis before you even close your eyes. Here is your step-by-step operating manual for tonight. Phase 1. The hard stop. T-4 hours. This is the non-negotiable rule. You must stop all caloric intake 4 hours before your intended sleep time. If you go to bed at 11 p.m., the kitchen closes at 7 p.m. No healthy snacks, no handful of almonds, no protein shakes. Why 4 hours? Because that is the physiological time required for gastric emptying. We need your stomach to be physically empty. When your stomach is empty, it triggers a phenomenon called the migrating motor complex, or MMC. This is a housekeeping wave that sweeps through your intestines, cleaning out bacteria and debris. But more importantly, 4 hours is roughly the time it takes for your insulin levels to return to a fasting baseline after a moderate meal. If you eat at 7 p.m., by 11 p.m., the traffic cop, insulin, has clocked out. The intersection is clear. If you violate this rule, if you eat at 9:30 p.m., you are bringing insulin to bed with you. And remember, insulin plus sleep equals fat storage. Phase 2. The Insulin Reset Elixir. T-90 minutes. This is the trick I teased at the beginning. Around 90 minutes before bed, you're going to feel it. The ominous ghrelin wave. Ghrelin is the hunger hormone. It's going to knock on your brain and say, "Hey, we usually eat popcorn right now." Do not eat. Instead, drink this specific cocktail. It is designed to blunt the insulin response of your previous meal and signal to your body that the fasting window has begun. The recipe: 10 to 12 ounces of warm water, not hot, just warm. 2 tablespoons of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. Half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, must be Ceylon, not cassia. A pinch of Himalayan pink salt. Why this weird mix? It's pure chemistry. Acetic acid from the vinegar. Acetic acid is a powerhouse. Studies have shown it can significantly reduce the insulin response and improve insulin sensitivity in skeletal muscle. It essentially tells your muscles to soak up any remaining glucose, clearing the runway for growth hormone. Cinnamon. This spice mimics insulin. It activates insulin receptors on your cells without the presence of actual insulin. It helps shove glucose into cells so your pancreas doesn't have to work as hard. Pink salt. This provides trace minerals and electrolytes. Often late-night hunger is actually just a salt craving. This kills the craving instantly. Drink this slowly. It is an acquired taste, but think of it as medicine, not a beverage. Phase 3, the thermal trigger. T-minus 60 minutes. Now that we have handled the chemistry, we need to handle the physics. We need to drop your core body temperature. Your body needs to drop its core temperature by about 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit to initiate deep sleep and release melatonin. If you are too hot, you stay in light sleep. But here's the hack. We want to activate brown adipose tissue, or BAT. Brown fat is a special type of fat that burns white fat to generate heat. It's a metabolic furnace. The protocol: turn your bedroom thermostat down to 65 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. It should feel slightly chilly. Then take a hot shower 60 minutes before bed. This sounds contradictory, but it utilizes the warm bath effect. When you step out of a hot shower into a cool room, your body rapidly dumps heat from your core to your extremities. This rapid cooling signals the brain that it's time to hibernate. It knocks you out faster than a sleeping pill, and the cool room keeps your brown fat active all night, burning calories to keep you warm. Phase 4, the magnesium break. T-minus 30 minutes. Finally, as you are winding down, I recommend one specific supplement: magnesium glycinate, 400 milligrams. Magnesium is essential for over 300 enzymatic processes, but specifically, it regulates the HPA axis, your stress response system. It lowers cortisol. Remember, cortisol is the enemy of growth hormone. If you are stressed about work tomorrow, your cortisol stays high and your belly fat stays put. Magnesium glycinate physically relaxes the nervous system and lowers the cortisol floor. Summary of the descent: 7 p.m., kitchen closed, the hard stop. 9:30 p.m., the insulin reset elixir, ACV plus cinnamon. 10 p.m., hot shower, cool room, the thermal trigger. 10:30 p.m., magnesium glycinate, the cortisol break. 11 p.m., sleep, growth hormone release. If you execute this script, you are not just sleeping, you are entering a performance recovery chamber. You are clearing the glucose, silencing the insulin, and unleashing the growth hormone. Let's bring this all back to the bottom line. For years, you have been told that weight loss is a battle of willpower. You have been told that if you just suffered a little more, ran a little further, ate a little less, that the belly fat would disappear. That was a lie. It was never about your willpower. It was about your traffic cops. Tonight, when you turn off the lights, remember what is happening inside you. 1. The mechanism. You have a nighttime lipolytic window, the 90-minute period of deep sleep where your body wants to burn visceral fat. But it can only do that if the insulin traffic cop has left the intersection. 2. The conflict. If you eat late, you keep insulin high. High insulin blocks hormone-sensitive lipase and cancels your nightly release of human growth hormone. You sleep, but you do not burn. 3. The protocol. We fix this with the 4-hour Metabolic Descent. Stop eating 4 hours before bed. Drink the Insulin Reset Elixir. Drop your body temp. Take magnesium glycinate. Do not try to be perfect. Just try to be consistent. Even if you only hit the 4-hour fasting window, you are winning. You are giving your body the silence it needs to repair itself. But here is the danger. You can execute this nighttime routine perfectly. You can burn fat all night long, but then ruin it all within the first 10 minutes of waking up. Most people wake up and immediately spike their cortisol, which shuts down the fat-burning machinery we just spent 8 hours building. They drink the wrong thing, look at the wrong light, and they shock their system into storage mode before they even brush their teeth. You have mastered the night. Now you need to master the morning. I have broken down the exact protocol to neutralize morning stress and keep the fat-burning window open until lunch in this video right here. The morning cortisol flush. Stop gaining weight before 9 a.m. Click here to watch that next, and I will see you in the next session. Class dismissed.